Lookout Bullion here, coming to you today from the departure lounge at Gatwick Airport, where I am waiting for my gate to be announced for my trip back up to Edinburgh, where I am going to hand deliver another batch of silver to the assay office and also pick up that very large parcel of silver which I delivered a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't seen that original vlog, then go and have a look. The link is down in the description below. Now this week we are going to be actually having a sit down with the master marker, the guy who has marked all of my silver and has marked all of the silver in the batch that we're picking up. We're also going to have a hands-on experience. We're going to be putting on my own BYB sponsors mark, as it's called, on one of the 100-gram silver forum bars. That's the prime reason that we're going there. It's going to be a really fun experience to actually meet and talk with the master marker, see what he does, watch him put a hallmark on, and actually do it myself as well. So I can't wait. I hope you guys enjoy that. Now the prime reason for going up there is of course to pick up these 150 100-gram silver forum bars. And if you'd like to find out more information about those and how you can get involved with supporting the silver forum and supporting everything that I do here on my YouTube channel, there's a link in the description below where you can find out all of the information about those 100-gram bars. In addition, there will be a video coming out tomorrow showcasing all 150 of those bars. They will all be done, stamped, polished, ready to go, and they'll be laid out on the table for me to have a look at and share with you guys, because laying out 150 100-gram bars is something very special indeed. It's always my favourite part of any big project that I do. Now last time I went up to the assay office, I brought with me that little 3-ounce silver forum round, and it was there to represent the silver forum members travelling with me up to the assay office to drop off all of that silver. And it occurred to me that I had kind of neglected my YouTube subscribers by not really bringing you guys along as well. So this time it's your turn. I have here this brand new piece. This is a new mould from Parts for Less 1999. It is a YouTube play button, and it's here in lovely silver. It's 4.72 ounces, so it's a big old chunky piece of silver. And we're going to be bringing this up as my pocket piece along the way. So I hope you guys enjoy the trip. I did a travel vlog not that long ago, so it'd be a little bit samey if I did the same thing again. So this time we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to time travel you up there. So just hang on, it can be a little bit disorienting. Here we go. And just like that, we are transported into the belly of the Edinburgh Assay office, and I'm here with the master marker, Charlie, who is in charge of all the hand marking. And I've just found out a really disturbing fact that he's been marking silver here at the Edinburgh Assay office longer than I've been alive, which is quite scary. But Charlie, thank you for having me here today and sharing with us all this experience of putting a hallmark on a bar. What are we going to be doing today? We've got obviously my subscriber button out here, but that's not what we're going to be focusing on. We've got the 100-gram silver forum bar. Tell us what your plan is for this bar.
Well, like all of the other ones I've done, this is the last of a batch of 150. Yeah. And we agreed, because it's a nice weight and it's got the symbol, it's got the pickaxe symbol there. We're to put some feature marks on some bigger marks. Yeah. So I've got the punches here. It's fine silver, so it has all of the marks, including the historical date letter on, which a lot of people really like. It dates it exactly.
Yeah. So even though I've stamped my 2018 on it, everybody knows that it's not.
That's it.
Come from a different year.
Our date letter, which is a T this year in small script, that small script T will get changed when it comes to the next alphabet. It will be maybe a capital T or a Gothic T or something.
So each year is completely different.
Every single one's unique, and it's been running like that for hundreds of years.
Fantastic.
So it's a piece of history.
Exactly, and that's one of the cool things I love about all of this.
Oh yeah.
So I know you've just done the 150 of these bars. How many can you do in a day? Because I know when I'm stamping at home on the kitchen table, it takes a lot of time and energy, and I get quite tired, and the back gets quite sore from punching over and doing all of the hard work. I
think my records in a day, I've certainly done this year 2,700.
2,700 marks
in a day.
That's quite staggering. Really.
But I think there's been times when I've done over 3,000.
Crikey.
If it's very, very complex and varied work, then sometimes it's only as much as 600 or 700. But generally, in a working week, I can do easily 5,000 marks.
That's amazing. I mean, because I know how difficult it is just from my own perspective, but of course you've got 30 plus
Oh
years
yeah,
of experience under your
it
belt.
sort of becomes second hand. You don't think about it. You pick the hammer up, the punches up. They find a place. You know the feel, the drop. You know what the metal's going to do.
Yeah.
It's just as you say. It's acquired experience over many years, and hopefully makes me okay at the job.
Well, one would hope so, because after you've put on the hallmarks here, we're going to swap places, and I'm going to put on my own BYB sponsors mark.
Excellent.
Which is putting me under the cosh, really, because this is one of the bars. This is number 150.
No pressure at all.
We'll hopefully get it all done on camera just fine.
Wonderful.
So do you want to crack on then?
Yes.
Let's get.
What I'm going to do
just
is,
before you jump in, I'll tell everyone. He stamps it upside down. So when I'm at home, I have it the right way up. So I'll put it this way up for the camera. So I work from top to bottom. Well, actually, I work from the middle first. I'll put the big stamp on first, then I'll go up, and then I'll go down.
Cool.
But interestingly, Charlie is starting with his bar upside down to try and get everything perfectly in line with what we're looking to do here.
Absolutely.
So just a little interesting tip for any of you hobbyists out there looking to do a similar thing. That's something that I will definitely consider.
Now, with something like this too, I do the first strike quite light, so that if it does need to be moved ever so slightly, I can compensate for that and move it.
Okay.
So we'll go for the mark, and I'm doing it off-centre, as you can see. So there's more space on the left side for you to be able to put your mark on. So it's measuring that, and it's getting a nice little distance there, so that it looks right. And then, because this is soft metal, it doesn't need pounding with a
still a decent whack that you gave it there. And
yeah, reasonable whack. That's found its place. If I need to move it, I can do so. And I have just slightly altered the move on it there, just to place it right. It's a few strikes, because this is cast. It's porous. It's almost like a big sponge. So that when you're striking, it doesn't, in the way that maybe Sterling gets, a very crisp mark, so you've got to strike it a few times.
That's interesting. I'd have thought that with it being pure silver and very soft, that it would have been a lot easier to get that mark.
Bizarrely, I marked some 18-karat gold beakers today, and being gold, you thought it would be quite soft. Wasn't. They've been forged. It was very, very hard mark to put on.
Really?
So so that's the first one on.
All right, so there we go.
That's 999 cast. 999. You can see it's slightly to the right there.
Well, that's
so that leaves you enough space there to be able to get an equidistant. So we're looking for the last mark here, which is a date letter, which again I'll tip it away to try to find it.
I just love the experience that you've got there, because you just picked up that. You picked up that date letter stamp, and you didn't even have to check it was the right way around. I'm always paranoid about my stamps, and I double check sometimes.
It just comes. You're just aware of it. You're aware of the feel. There's a little mark on the front, and your fingers feel it. And then you go, right, let's make sure I've got them in the right place. That looks okay. I'm going to move that down ever so slightly. And you can see I'm walking. You can do that when you do your marks on.
Of course, because these stamps are, correct me if I got the wrong word, they're incus, aren't they?
Yes, so it's what they call a sunk. It's actually a sunk punch, they call it.
Okay.
So the detail is cut into it.
If you do that light strike to start with, and say the angle of the T is not quite perpendicular.
Yes, exactly.
You can move it, and then the flat part of the stamp will produce the flat part, and the raised part will still be raised.
So the detail and punches have been made like that right since used to hand cut them in the past before they had the pantographs.
So it does leave a little bit of wiggle room, I suppose.
Yes. So you can see that mark is very off centre. It's gone there, but your mark,
complete it now.
I've got it in my head the size of your mark, so it's getting that on. Now, where you might have a little bit of difficulty is when it comes round to placing it, you have to move it slightly there, and it will want to creep away a little bit. Do you see that? Because of the curve. So I would strike that full on and then pull it just ever so slightly once it's struck to get the other side of it.
Right, well, there's no time like the present. Let's give it a
go. Go for it. Brilliant. Do you want a larger hammer, or are you happy with that hammer there that
I think if you've used this one, it's good enough for me.
Excellent.
So, is that the right way up?
Making sure it's upside down, yes.
Okay.
You're left-handed.
Well, I place it with the right there, just so I've got it in the right place, and then
Gotcha.
I mean, it's technique, isn't it? I suppose that's something very. It's natural for me to put it there with the right hand, so that I know exactly where it's going. Right, here we go. Wish me luck.
Nice confidence strike.
So there we go. I think that's not bad. I suppose we could put a little bit more depth on the right hand side
just,
there.
Reconnect it. You'll feel it wiggle it and reconnect it, and then you can just tip it slightly to the right.
There we go.
Back on. That's very
I think
good.
that looks pretty good, doesn't it?
That's a pretty good one for the number 150. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that too.
Good.
That's been
excellent.
That's a lot of nerves gone out the window. I was a little bit worried that I'd messed that up live on camera, but there we go.
You can breathe now.
I can breathe easy. So there we have, everybody.
Wonderful.
That is a hallmark being put onto a silver bar live here at the Edinburgh Assay office. Thank you very much, Charlie.
Oh.
One last thing before we go. Have
Yes.
you got any words of wisdom that you'd like to impart to any of the many hobbyists out there who follow my channel? What's your top tip for marking your silver?
For marking it, confidence, but always make sure everything's right, and always make sure that you support things well. And get a feel for it. Practice on bits that, scrap bits and bits that you've...
In fact, you told me to bring up a spare piece to practice on, but I'd forgotten completely. Other than having this piece of silver, I don't have anything else to practice on, so we didn't even
It's
practice.
good just to get a feel for it. People can get a bit nervous, but once they get the feel and maybe strike it on a piece of scrap, then go for the main thing. Don't feel you've got to do it right away, and that's a good tip.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much, Charlie.
Welcome.
So that was a right pleasure. I'm very happy with that. If you want to find out more about these bars, head on over to the Silver Forum. Otherwise, I will see you all back at home tomorrow for the big unveiling of all 150 of these bars. Well, I don't know about you guys, but that really was an incredible experience to be able to sit with Charlie, the master marker, who quite literally has been marking precious metals for longer than I've been alive, was a really, really special thing. And I want to just say a huge thank you once again to the Edinburgh Assay office and Charlie for taking the time to sit with me and allow me to film that, especially allowing me to film the hallmark going live on the bar. That really was something very special. And to put my own sponsor's mark on camera was quite nerve-wracking, actually. I've done a lot of stamping over the last couple of years, but it's always at home when I've got the chance to just remelt something and do it all again if I make a mistake. So to have something there where I do it on camera, live, no mistakes, no going back, was quite nerve-wracking, but I think I did a pretty good job. Now, if you guys like this video, please put a thumbs up on it and share it around on your social media. That would be very helpful for everything that I do here on my channel. And if you would like to see more about these 100 gram bars, hit the subscribe button and catch the video coming out tomorrow showcasing all 150 of them laid out on the table. All that's left for me to do now is to head on home. I've not got very much time here in Edinburgh, so I've got a few sights and sounds to share with you guys, and then it's a quick flight home where Mrs. Backyard Bullion will be waiting to pick me up from the airport. I hope you've enjoyed this trip. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure you like, share, comment and subscribe for more.